G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnell, this is ACWSport, and here are my predictions for Week 6 of the 2017-2018 Premier League season. Starting off with a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, which sees the London derby at the London Stadium, West Ham versus Tottenham. And last season, West Ham obviously beat Spurs 1-0 to end Spurs' hopes of winning a Premier League title and pushing Chelsea all the way to the end of the season. So I fancy Spurs to get revenge this weekend, because even though they haven't been very good at Wembley, they've been formidable on the road. So I'm going West Ham 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3, and I am predicting Harry Kane to be on the score sheet yet again for Spurs. Off to Goodison, and this is where Everton meet Bournemouth, both teams that could definitely do with a win. Bournemouth after getting their first win of the season, so they'll want to carry on that momentum. Everton come into this game in abysmal form, especially after two humbling defeats at the hands of Manchester United and Atalanta, well, and even Spurs, to be honest with you, before that. So they could really do with the win, or even a goal, to be honest with you. So I honestly reckon Everton will edge this, because I think they will want to show their home fans that things aren't as bad as what they have been over the last week. It's just been a very early season blip. But I think they'll just edge this. I'm going Everton 2, Bournemouth 1. St Mary's sees Manchester United travel to Southampton. And, even though Southampton do like to make a game of it whenever United go to St Mary's, I just think United are going to be too strong for them. Lamina has looked very, very good for Southampton so far this season, but despite his power in midfield, to go up against Herrera and Pogba, and probably Fellaini, I think overall he will be outnumbered in the middle there, just because I think he's been Southampton's best player, but United as a unit have just been so solid. So I'm going Southampton 1, Manchester United 3. I'm going Lukaku, Martial and Rashford to get on the score sheet for Manchester United. Stoke versus Chelsea. What a tasty game this always ends up being. And, Chelsea, since the Burnley game, have been pretty solid all throughout the season. They'd be very disappointed with their 0-0 draw at home to Arsenal last week. But I think they're going to have another tough game when they travel to Stoke. Stoke love playing the top six sides. And that's why I'm going to go for Stoke 2, Chelsea 2. Stoke beat Arsenal so far this season at Stoke. And they've also beaten Manchester United. And I don't see their run against the top six coming to an end anytime soon. So that's why I'm going for an honours-even draw at Stoke. Burnley versus Huddersfield, two teams that I think are on a very similar level and have both made very good starts to the season, considering the strength of their squads and what everyone predicted their starts to the season would be like. Saying that though, I think it will be honours-even here. I'm going Burnley 1, Huddersfield 1. Now to the Etihad, where Manchester City host Crystal Palace, who last weekend broke a Premier League record for not scoring in their first 5 games and losing their first 5 games, something that had never been done before. And that record's about to be extended, in my opinion, because I see City destroying Palace at the Etihad. Palace have looked woeful. City have looked on fire, especially if you look at the last few results. And that's why I'm going for Manchester City 5, Crystal Palace 0. I'm sorry, Palace fans. I just don't see how you guys are going to get a decent result at the Etihad, especially with the form that Jesus, De Bruyne and Aguero are in. Watford travel to Swansea in another 3 o'clock kickoff on the Saturday. Watford humbled by Manchester City at home last week, losing 6-0. Swansea picked up a good point at Wembley. And because of that, I honestly reckon both teams will actually share the points here. Swansea, I think it'll be a frustrating game for both, because I think both teams do need the win. But I just think Swansea, they might have turned a bit of a corner there, drawing away at Spurs. Big result for them. Watford, obviously, after last week, will want to bounce back. But I think a point on the road, would be a fair enough result for these two. So that's why I'm going 1-1 between Swansea and Watford. The final game on Saturday sees Leicester host Liverpool. And I'm going for a 2-2 draw in this game, just simply because both teams, they both look pretty good going forwards. But in defence, both teams have looked a little bit shoddy. Harry Maguire has looked pretty solid for Leicester so far. Jamie Vardy's looked very, very good for them going forward. And for Liverpool, obviously, Mo Salah's looked brilliant, but Liverpool have looked wobbly at the back. So that's why I'm going for the points to be shared at Leicester, at the King Power. On to Sunday, and the only game that's on Sunday this week sees Brighton host Newcastle, first and second in the Championship last season, these two teams. And that's why, again, I'm going for another high-scoring draw. I'm going Brighton 2, Newcastle 2. Brighton, after a couple of, obviously they lost to Bournemouth last weekend. Newcastle come into the game for the first time since 2013, winning 3 Premier League games in a row. I think that run will come to an end, but it will be, a point gained for them, I think. Any point away from home when you're a newly promoted side is a point gained, even if it's against your rivals. So, I just think honours even. These guys were very evenly matched last season, and that's why I think this game will be a draw. And then the final game on Monday night sees Arsenal host West Brom. West Brom have an abysmal record at the Emirates, really. And that's why I think it's actually going to be a fairly easy game for Arsenal. They always seem to do well against the lower teams. They showed that against Bournemouth. They put in a very good result against Chelsea at the weekend. It's clear that they've got the bit between their teeth. They want to kind of make up for that abysmal display at Anfield a few weeks back. And that's why I'm going for an easy 3-0 win to Arsenal. I think Sanchez may get on the score sheet. I'm going Welbeck to get on the score sheet. And then maybe even Aaron Ramsey, who also seems to be in very, very good form since that Liverpool game. He's really turned a corner and was brilliant against Chelsea. So, Ramsey or Lacazette, for me, in terms of the third goal scorer. So, they're my predictions for Week 6 of the Premier League. Do you agree with me? Please comment below. Let me know. What do you think the scores are going to be? As always, I'm Aaron Whitnell. Please don't forget to subscribe to ACW Sport. And I'll see you next week so that we can review all of the action from the Premier League.